I'm going to show you how I made something like this
Okay.
into something like this. So it's pretty interesting how you can take everyday objects, such as recording a piece of crumbling paper, and turn it into percussive instruments. So for the paper recording, I added a compressor to add some consistency to the volume, an EQ8 with a high pass cut, and I also boosted the low mids and the highs, and then of course I added a limiter. Now for the fun part, which is the processing, I added an EQ and I did some weird automations as I was processing each individual sound. Then I went ahead and added a snap heap, and inside the snap heap I used a shaper, another snap heap, and inside here I did parallel processing with a convolver and some filters. We can go ahead and exit out of the second snap heap. The last effects that I added are a gain, just in case I wanted to boost or lower the signal, and my favorite tool for audio manipulation, which is a frequency shifter. And then of course, to bring everything together, a compressor, which can help control peaks. And then I went ahead and added another limiter. One of my favorite things to do when I'm editing a recording is look for the transients. So for example, I'll let the sample play through, and I like the way this section sounds. By the way, I pitched this down quite a bit by -33, so I'm going to go ahead and click and drag this section of the sample and start editing it. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the EQ. So I'm looking for a very resonant frequency with the EQ. I like the way that sounds. So around 95 Hertz with the EQ all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and open the snap heap and mess with the frequency shifter. I like the way it sounds at 130. And then I'm also going to increase the mix for the shaper so there's more drive. I'm also going to add this sort of fade to the audio sample, and now I'm just going to record it. And voila, that is going to be our sample. I'm going to add another fade to the tail, right click and consolidate it, double click on the gain here. And if you really want to, you can turn off the warp and mess with the pitch. And that's just one of the many ways you can take everyday objects, record them, and turn them into interesting sounds.